Every year, New Zealand spends around $10 billion on public infrastructure. But despite that substantial investment, the country faces a widening infrastructure deficit and a steady drumbeat of high-profile cost blowouts. If you buy the cheapest used car on the lot, or a house with a suspiciously low asking price, you generally know what's coming. You save cash on day one, but the cascade of repair bills over the next decade quickly wipes out those initial savings. Yet when the public sector goes shopping for billion-dollar assets like hospitals and highways, it frequently relies on that exact same logic. Driven by strict legal frameworks and intense political pressure to protect taxpayer dollars, the government's focus relentlessly narrows to securing the lowest possible upfront price. This is the core of the procurement paradox. Well-intentioned strategies used to aggressively cap initial delivery costs are often the primary drivers of long-term financial waste. By fiercely guarding the public purse at the tender stage, agencies are setting up the precise mechanism that will slowly drain it over the next 50 years. To see exactly how this happens, we must separate what it costs to deliver an asset from what it costs to keep it running. According to data from the World Economic Forum, the initial delivery phase, the design and construction, can represent as little as 10% of an asset's total lifespan cost. This splits the project ledger into two competing columns: capital expenditure, the money used to build the physical asset, and operating expenditure, the money used to maintain it. This chart shows the relationship between total cost of ownership and outcome sought. When agencies force lower capital expenditure, builders strip out high-quality materials, pushing the financial burden onto operations. As the report plainly observes, value is being greatly confused with cheap. Securing a bargain asset on opening day practically guarantees taxpayers will pay an exorbitant premium to catch and repair it for decades. The focus on upfront price dictates the physical materials used and the way the entire project is managed. The World Economic Forum estimates up to 15% of spending on major projects is completely wasted due to poor collaboration with the market. Economists refer to this as asymmetric information, a scenario where one party holds vital knowledge the other lacks. Government agencies often plan and design complex projects in a silo, completely isolated from the technological expertise and practical realities of the very companies they expect to build them. This isolation breeds a highly adversarial bidding environment. Contractors know the budget is tight and the competition is fierce, so they submit unrealistically low estimates, fully aware that the silo design will eventually hit expensive real-world roadblocks. This bar chart illustrates the trap. Once ground is broken and those roadblocks inevitably appear, the contractor has to recoup their profit margin. They do this through variations, charging steep premiums for necessary changes to the initial scope and design. To keep private contractors at arm's length and prevent corporate greed, the system mathematically guarantees the very budget overruns it was trying to avoid. Zoom out from individual projects, and the problem scales up across the entire economy. Currently, the construction sector lacks a clear, committed multi-year pipeline of upcoming public work. Instead, projects are commissioned sporadically. This disjointed, short-term political planning feeds directly into a volatile boom and bust cycle for the domestic construction industry. This system map tracks the negative procurement journey. Without certainty, builders are disincentivized from investing in cost-saving tools. In this reactive state, New Zealand faces a structural cost premium for complex infrastructure compared to other high-income countries. The government's short-term planning starves the private sector of the exact economic stability it needs to actually build things more efficiently. The fallout is measurable. Construction firms are stretched to the breaking point. Public servants face burnout, and ordinary taxpayers are left sitting in traffic, waiting for delayed, compromised assets. Reversing this trend requires away from isolated, competitive, single-project tenders. The focus must shift to a unified, program-led delivery system that smooths out demand and creates economies of scale. This diagram maps the drivers for successful procurement. Structural reform must start at the top. Agencies need to prioritize long-term outcomes over short-term savings. Maximizing an investment's worth requires bringing contractors into planning early, sharing risk fairly, and maintaining a politically aligned, multi-decade vision. The true value of a highway or hospital is never found on ribbon-cutting day. It's measured across 50 years of reliable operation. To close the infrastructure deficit, New Zealand has to stop buying cheap and start building smart.